Okay, I'm going to take you on a little tour. It's a 1971 Chevy Longhorn. And this thing is just in phenomenal shape. I'd imagine it was probably restored 15 to 20 years ago. But I mean, just the condition of this truck is like no other that I've seen. I mean, everything on this thing was completely redone. And this does come down. I can't figure, it says push, but it comes down, so you got a center armrest. And then to go back, you just lift this up, push it back. So you got two settings. And then you've got this right here. It's got the Cadillac steering. But just the neatest thing, whoever did this really put a lot of good work into it, and I can see why they picked it. I mean, if you just look around at all the little things that usually is tore apart on these trucks, this one is just, I mean, underneath your doors, just crazy shape. And it's got the 500 Cadillac motor also, and I'm thinking it's probably got other, it's got the steering column, the motor. I'm thinking it's probably got other things, because I mean, the way it drives down the road is just so smooth. I mean, I've driven a lot of these old trucks, but this one, it just, the way it, the tightness of it, it's hard to explain. It just really cruises good. I'll go ahead and start her up. And I drove it about probably, and you've got a fuel pump here. So you hit that. Well, I guess I better plug that battery in. I was cleaning it, so I kept on having my door open, so I figured, oh, might as well just take that battery off. But that kicks on the fuel pump, and you can hear it. And it's got this fuel setup. It's on an electric fuel pump, and it comes down right there. So basically, and it's got a filter for that too. But just look underneath that, how solid that is. Not any hole, rust, or nothing. It's just crazy, crazy shape. I can see why they picked this truck for that motor. But like I say, I've driven these with 454s, the works, and I mean, this one, this 500, it just, I don't know if they've done something to it, but it just really handles and moves like no other. So anyway, you got your fuel pump right here. Here you got an auxiliary fan, and you can hear that kick on. I'll show you. Right here is your auxiliary fan. And then you have another fan in the front. So go ahead and fire it up. But we'll see what the temperature is. You've got your gauges. So after we drove it, and it doesn't have a choke, so you gotta kind of, if it's cold out, you gotta let it warm up. But right now we're at 140. So, and that's with the fuel pump on. Don't forget, if you don't have that fuel pump on, which you could wire it to your ignition if you don't like the fact that you got to hit that switch. A lot of guys, I think they do it so if someone ever tried to steal their truck, they wouldn't be able to figure out why it wouldn't go. And like I say, it's a little cold, but got a dual exhaust, and once it warms up, you'll get more of an idle out of it. It's kind of a, I don't know if they put a cam in there or what, but just a cool truck. I mean, if you look at all the panels on here, they all line up really good. And every time I turn around, there's something I look at and I go, oh, that's why they picked this truck to do that work to it. And then your blinkers, they both work. This one right here, if you leave it too far over, it'll stay on. So it's got a, this one shuts off fine by itself, but the other one is a little bit finicky. They both work. You've got your stereo, and you hit the source, and you can put it to the station you want. I usually like 99.1, and it don't sound too bad. But you've got your windshield wipers. I mean, everything on this truck just works phenomenal. You've got your heater fan, sits right here. You can hear that kick on. The cigarette lighter doesn't work. I imagine it's either the lighter or ground. All your gauges work. The speedometer was working. It's got a cable underneath, but I think it's probably just not hooked up right. It'll work on and off, but it was working fine. I twisted it on there, but I don't know if I didn't put it tight enough or what. But the rest of the gauges, this isn't hooked up. Your fuel gauge works, but you do have wires right behind this column that if you want to hook a tack up, you could. You got your tilts, that all works. And like I said, the steering wheel is a Cadillac steering column, so you can run in and out with that. Just the coolest thing. But all your doors, all your windows, they all work. All your doors open and shut really nice. Like I say, I think you'd be pretty hard pressed. It's got this toolbox, but just a nice one. It has the slow open, the hydraulics. And then this right here, this little piece on the back of this toolbox. So when you get the centerpiece down, this sits in the middle of it. I'll show you. So on the back of that, it's kind of hard to get in there with the camera. It's got this piece that fits in the middle of that. And like I said, I haven't been able to get this little piece down for the armrest. So, but like I say, all these trucks, they're all projects. They're all old. If you're buying or looking at trucks like this, I'm sure you know that you're going to have to tinker and work on it. It's just the name of the game. Okay, and then this is an extra piece that was being made for this truck. So you could stain it and put that in there if you like that old wood look. But just a lot of cool things. The guy that built this truck, you could tell it was like his art. He was proud of it. And just the way it runs and goes and all the stuff that he was doing to it. Just a lot of cool things. This wasn't just a truck that was thrown together to sell. I mean, this was someone's love that they had. The motor, here's your fan, and this fan kicks off. All your brakes work nice. Very, very nice brakes, but this right here is your fan. We'll turn that off. There's your fan off. But yeah, one of the things about stuff that I sell, I won't sell junk and I won't buy junk. So just by all the stuff that I've had, if you go through my eBay, look at all the things that I've had, and everyone that's bought stuff from me is happy with it. So make sure to look at my feedback. But I'm an honest guy. I wouldn't lie about, you know, big old rust, hidden rust or nothing like that. I try to keep my eBay perfect. So, but this is just a cool old truck. All the floors on it are solid, and it sounds great. Idle's a little bit low, but I guess some guys like that kind of race car sound. You can kind of hear it, and it really does. It gets up and moves. For a truck, most guys wouldn't think it did, but your power steering sits right here, and the power steering line does have a very slight leak. I don't know if it's a seal or what, but I haven't filled this up. So it's just a small one, but just so you know that, like I say, everything on this truck is in crazy nice shape. I mean, this truck is a hoot to drive. So it's one of those things, everyone's got their taste, but I think this one's one of those trucks that you don't see every day. And there was a reason that they picked it to do this work to it. So I'll go ahead and take you for a ride, and then I'm going to take my pictures. So, and it's got this little holder. It's where I like to take my stuff. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take you for a ride. Well, this truck is probably one of the nicest C10s of this body style. Even I've had newer ones and they don't feel like this. And like I say, the suspension, the steering is just so dang crisp in this thing. I almost wonder if it's got original 125,000 miles because it drives so good and tight. And then you got your blinker. Like I said, the blinkers could use a little work. The right one works great. And it turns off by itself. You've seen that. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Horn. There's 2 horns in the back of that box back there. So I'm pretty sure they just need hooked up. But the horn doesn't work. Just, I guess, little things like that. All your gauges work, oil pressure, everything like that. But like I say, it's a beautiful truck. And as you can see, steering's dead on. And you got plenty of power in this truck. It's got that 5th wheel hitch back there, and you could pull anything with this thing. I mean, it just pulls like crazy. The guy that I got it from had a big old horse trailer hooked on the back of it. Well, I shouldn't say big, but it was probably a 2-horse trailer that he had a whole bunch of stuff in. So I know this thing's set up to pull. And being the Longhorn, I'm pretty sure that probably even helps pull better because it's got the extra long bed. But yeah, beautiful truck. If there's anything that I missed out, you got power brakes also. So if there's anything I missed out. And like I say, the choke, it's not hooked up. So like if you're somewhere that's cold, you gotta pump it a little bit. We'll start it and then just kind of idle it until it's warmed up. I'd say probably at least a good minute to 2 minutes if it's really cold outside. But they've got so many kits now that you can buy on these. You can get fuel injections and put on them. I mean, there's so many things, aftermarket parts nowadays, that the sky is the limit. I think the hardest part is finding a truck that is solid, you know, one that's hasn't been abused and that's got all the parts and pieces. So that's really the hard part, I think. But this one's just really set up to cruise. You could do anything you wanted with this truck. It runs that nice. And it's got a good sound, that 500 Caddy motor in here. I've never seen a 500 Caddy motor in one of these trucks. And when I ran into it, I was just like, I gotta have that. That's so cool. I mean, you find certain people that are just, oh, I want 454 Chevy, but the way I look at it, it's all GM. I mean, GM made it all, so having a 500, I think, adds a coolness to this truck. But just a sweet old ride. I'm going to take it over here. I got a picture spot. I'll take probably like 100 pictures, so make sure you look through my listing and you'll see all my pictures. But you can kind of hear it out there. It grabs attention for sure. People love the look of this truck. Patina is what they call it. It's got that old school patina. But I think it's cool that it's got that extra long bed also. You don't see that too often. Oh yeah, other thing, the glove box liner. You'll have to get one of those glove box liners, and which you could find almost anywhere, I'm pretty sure of, but the glove box liner is out of that. So then you got your left blinker. This is the blinker I was telling you about, and like I say, once you put it down, it works fine. It's just you got to manually lift it up barely, but when you put it down, it stays working. Everything's good. You just got to put it back up manually. So, but you got all your gauges, you got your fuel, in which I filled this up about a week ago, so it's not doing too bad on gas for being as big as a motor as this is. But yeah, it's got the gas, this right here, it did work, so I know it's just probably a cable or something like that that's not hooked up right. But all the stuff in here, and then you got the center armrest, which I'm still trying to figure out why it won't go down so I can put my arm on it. And then, like I say, you got this cool little holder, and then right here you've got this piece comes up so you can put your title or whatever you want inside that little hidden piece inside this little seat. The seat's actually a pretty cool seat. But yeah, just very cool truck. If you've been looking for a clean Longhorn, I think you're going to be hard pressed to find one that's in this kind of shape. I really do. And one that just runs like this also is, yeah, the body and all that's very nice, but the way it runs is just like no other. Having some road work over here, so it's like it takes forever just to get to my house. Oh, see how that blinker stuck on? You just got to barely lift it up and it turns back off. So, and like I say, this is the steering out of a Cadillac, the column, so probably parts are pretty easy to get if you did want to fix that little blinker, but it doesn't bug me. I just turn it on and off when it's on that side. And then your brakes, if you can see down there just how I barely have to press them and I'm stopping, you can see this car, it's just right there. And you got that little brake light too. But anyway, I'll get over here and take some pictures. If there's any other things I left out, get a hold of me. And I will send you more pictures or whatever it is you're wanting to see. And we'll just do it like that. So like I say, this baby's got some get up and go too, so if you're looking for something that's got instant torque, I don't think you can beat these 500 Caddies. Anyway, I'm in my neighborhood, so if there's anything I missed out, get a hold of me and I will send what you need. All right, you have a good day. Thanks.